Oh, I have slipped the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter, silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things. You have not dreamed of, wheeled and soared and swung, high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting winds along and flung my eager craft through the footless halls of air. Up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the wind-swept heights with easy grace, where never lark or ever eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God. Flight is freedom in its purest form, to dance with clouds which follow a storm, to roll and glide, to wheel and spin, to feel the joy that swells within, to leave the earth with its troubles and fly, and know the warmth of a clear spring sky. Then back to earth at the end of the day, released from the tensions which melted away. Should my end come while I'm in flight, whether brightest day or dark of night, spare me your pity and shrug off the pain, secure in the knowledge that I'd do it again. For each of us is created to die, and within me I know I was born to fly. I am the co-pilot. I sit on the right. It's up to me to be quick and bright. I never talk back, for I have regrets, but I have to remember what the captain forgets. I make out the flight plan and study the weather. I pull up the gear and stand by to feather. Make out the mail forms and do all the reporting, and fly the old crate while the captain is courting. I take the readings and adjust the power. I put on the heaters when we're in a shower. Tell him where we are in the darkest of night, and do all the bookwork without any light. I call for my captain and buy him Cokes. I always laugh at his corny jokes, and once in a while, when his landings are rusty, I always come through with, "By gosh, it's gusty." All in all, I'm a general stooge, as I sit on the right of the man I call Scrooge. I guess you think that it's past understanding, but maybe someday he will give me a landing. Because I fly, I laugh more than other men. I look up and see more than they. I know how the clouds feel, what it's like to have the blue in my lap, to look down on the birds, to feel freedom in a thing called the stick. But who can I slice between God's billowed legs and feel then laugh and crash with his step? Who else has seen the unclimbed peaks, the rainbow's secret, the real reason the birds sing? Because I fly, I envy no man on earth. Lord of thunderhead and sky, who places in man the will to fly? Who taught the hand's speed, skill, and grace, to soar beyond man's dwelling place? You shared with him the eagle's view, the right to soar as eagles do, the right to call the clouds his home, and grateful through your heavens roam. May all assembled here tonight, and all who love the thrill of flight, recall your twofold gratitude, your gift of wings, your gift of food. I know that I shall meet my fate somewhere among the clouds above. Those that I fight, I do not hate. Those that I guard, I do not love. My country is Kittartan cross, my countrymen's Kiltartan poor. No likely end could bring them loss, or leave them happier than before. Nor law nor duty bade me flight, nor public men, nor cheering crowds, a lonely impulse of delight drove to this tumult in the clouds. I balanced all, brought all to mind. The years to come seemed to waste my breath, a waste of breath the years behind, in balance with this life, this death. I searched along the changing edge, where sky-pierced now the cloud had broken. I saw no bird, no blade of wing, no song was spoken. I stood, my eyes turned upward still, and drank in the air and breathed the light. Then like a hawk upon the wind, I climbed the sky and I made flight. Alone yet never lonely, serene beyond mischance, the world was his only, when Lindbergh flew to France. And now 'tis man who dares assault the sky, and as we come to claim our promised place, aim only but to repay the good you gave, and warm with human love the chill of space. This is a damned unnatural sort of war. The pilot sits among the clouds quite sure about the values he is fighting for. He cannot hear beyond the veil of sound. He cannot see the people on the ground. He only knows that on that sloping map of sea-fringed town and country people creep like ants, and who cares if ants laugh or weep? Courage is the price that life extracts for granting peace. The soul that knows it not knows no release from little things, knows not the livid loneliness of fear, nor mountains' heights where bitter joy can hear the sound of wings. How can life grant us boon of living compensate for dull gray ugliness and pregnant hate? Unless we dare the soul's dominion, each time we make a choice we pay with courage to behold the restless day and count it fair. I sweep the skies with fire and steel. My highway is the cloud. I swoop, I soar, aloft I wheel, my engine laughing loud. I fight with gleaming blades the wind that dares dispute my path. I leave the howling storm behind, I ride upon its wrath. I laugh to see your tiny world, your toys of ships, your cars. I rove an endless road unfurled, where the milestones are the stars. And far below, men wait and peer for what my coming brings. I fill their quaking hearts with fear, for death is in my wings. The airport was a tan stripe in a field of grass. I remember the pilot that trip when you flew low for me so I could see how the cornfields were laid out. Do you remember, pilot, my friend, how we skimmed the yellow miles on the wings of an afternoon? You shouting to me in the sun, "Isn't it peaceful here? Isn't it peaceful here?" In a hangar at the airport where a brooding pilot blinks, deeply graven is the message. It is later than you think. The clock of life is wound but once, and no man has the power to tell just when the hands will stop, at late or early hour. Now is the time, your own. The past is a golden link. Go flying now, my brother. It's later than you think. Give me the wings, magician, so their tune mix with the silver trumpets of the moon. And beyond music moaning, clean outrun the golden diapason of the sun. There is a secret that the birds are learning, where the long lanes in heaven have a turning. And no man yet has followed, therefore these laugh haughtily across our usual seas. I'll not be mocked by the curlews in the sky. Give me wings, magician, or I die. Up in the sky a bird does soar, high and swift, asking no more. Its wings lift and then fall. With majestic beauty it sings a call. It is so free, and I am not. I wish I were he, and he were not. I must go up to the skies again, to the white clouds and the gray. And all I ask is a high launch and the chance to get away. And with the wings surge and the wind's song and the quiet clouds drifting, and a heat haze on the land's face and the warm air's lifting. I must go up to the skies again, for the call to soar and glide is a free call, a clear call that may not be denied. And all I ask is a sunlit day and the bright heights gaining, 'neath the new queue that towers above and its lift maintaining. I must go up to the skies again, to the peace of silent flight, to the gull's way and the hawk's way and the free wing's delight. And all I ask is a friendly joke with a laughing fellow rover, and a large beer and a deep sleep when the long, long flight is over. I hope that there's a place way up in the sky where pilots can go when they have to die. A place where a guy could buy a cold beer for a friend or a comrade whose memory is dear. A place where no doctor or lawyer could tread, nor a management type would e'er be caught dead. Just a quaint little place, kind of dark and full of smoke, where they like to sing loud and love a good joke. The kind of a place that a lady could go and feel safe and secure by the men that she would know. There must be a place where old pilots go when their wings become heavy and their airspeed gets low, when the whiskey is old and the women are young, and the songs about flying and dying are sung. Where you'd see all of the fellows who'd flown west before, and they'd call out your names as you came through the door. Who would buy you a drink if your thirst should be bad, and relate to the others, he was quite a good lad. And then through the mist you'd spot an old guy you hadn't seen in years, though he'd taught you to fly. He'd nod his old head and grin ear to ear and say, "Welcome, my son, I'm proud that you're here. For this is the place where true flyers come. When the battles are over, the wars have been won. They've come here at last to be safe and alone. From the government clerk and the management clone, politicians and lawyers, the feds and the noise, where all the hours are happy and there's good old boys. Can relax with a cold one and a well-deserved rest. This is heaven, my son. You've passed your last test."